Conrad.
And I'm Sam.
And together
We are
CS Kreme. It started, the official date is the 1st of April 2014. But before that, we knew each other a little bit from the scene in Melbourne. The project that I was involved in at the time had just ended, and Sam asked me if I'd like to have a jam with him. I brought over my drum machine and my bass, and I went over to Sam's house and we just jammed for quite a long time. We didn't really know each other very well, so it was kind of a bit of a risk. We just had like instant chemistry, and we've been doing it ever since.
Big project that I had in the beginning was quite wild and experimental with performance. Initially, I thought this was more honing in and a different experience, but I think ultimately the wildness just gets brought into different methods of working.
I came from more of a traditional band songwriting kind of an approach, and even though I'd been like veering towards like making more electronic music, it was still quite constrained in the approach. It was through meeting Sam and his own approach, because he comes from the total opposite background, you know, that we sort of met in the middle, and he's sort of shown me quite a lot of things, you know, like I've unlearned a lot of my own musical theories, you know, and, you know, I'm sure I've probably shown him a thing or two in the other way.
I learnt music from a very young age, more classical type music. And then I also studied electronic music from quite a young age. I actually had spent a lot of time after that trying to unlearn all of that, all my foundation of music, but it's always there somewhere.
And I don't have any training, I'm just self-taught. I don't know any music theory. You know, yeah, I'm just making it up. We have a new album that's coming out in a few weeks, and so we have a brand new live set at the moment. Mainly consists of versions of those songs, but not very, very accurate versions. You know, we've sort of reworked them for the live show. So the only place that you would hear these is at a concert. Generally, the process is sort of one of us will come up with, you know, like a seed of an idea. We work it up together, and then it generally turns into something else. And then we just sort of, you know, like it's a lot of editing, you know, like a lot of, you know, just, it's a bit like cooking or, you know, sculpture, where it's just, you know, sculpting until, you know, until it's right.
We're trying to make music that's original, and so I guess we're naturally looking to technology for us to use those elements to make the most original music possible. Whether it be software or even sequences, things that can help us, tools that can push us into new and exciting directions.
It's such a grey area. It's almost too complex to talk about. You know, I mean, I would happily use AI to come up, you know, with, say, like an idea about something, but then I would want to flip it again and make it our own in some way. I think it's got to be a combination of human input and, you know, the AI input, you know, and I think, you know, like in that, you can get some cool things, but if it's just AI, I mean, what's the point? And I don't know why anyone would want to listen to it. But I think it's a really powerful tool, and I think the next however many years is just going to be humans trying to find the balance or the sweet spot where, you know, it can coexist in a nice way.
If the AI starts being able to just copy everything perfectly, I mean, it's just going to push people to look for totally new things. So I think, you know, there's nothing to like be concerned with. I mean, there's already so many things to be concerned with, like just in regards to, you know, people make bad music as well. So there's lots of bad music, but it's no different if there's more bad music made.
And when, you know, when photography was invented, you know, like a lot of the painters at the time were like, oh no, we're out of a job, you know, but then painting just got more abstract, you know, like and did the things that photography couldn't do, you know, and I think it'll probably be a little bit like that. We make the music that we make. It's like a combination of the lives that we've both led, the great parts and the terrible parts, and the travel and the trauma and the joy and the, you know, for me is, you know, that's sort of the driving force.
We've made music in scummy bedrooms or nice studios, small spaces, big spaces, uncomfortable spaces, but it doesn't seem, I mean, I think our music is it's more inside us, and the space doesn't really come into play too much.
We're affected in our day-to-day lives by things that are going on in our outside environment, but it's not like we look out the window in the studio and we'll see like a native Australian tree, you know, like an acacia tree, and that will somehow influence. It's less direct, you know, like that stuff probably goes into us, filtered through, you know, like all of our own internal things and histories, and then it comes out in whatever form. I would hope that the future of like experimental music is strong, and as far as how we fit into it, who cares? I mean, like, we're not really trying to fit in, and we just do our own thing, and like we're very grateful, you know, that there are some people who listen out for it, but we just continue to follow our instincts. We both want to do this for as long as we can. You know, I like the idea of being, you know, like old man and doing this.